Hello and welcome to our video on Nibiru and the Anunnaki. In this video, we will be discussing the theories surrounding the existence of the planet Nibiru and the ancient Mesopotamian deities known as the Anunnaki. There are many theories and beliefs surrounding these subjects, so we will do our best to provide a comprehensive overview. Let's delve a bit deeper into the topic of Nibiru. As we mentioned earlier, the concept of Nibiru comes from the work of Zecharia Sitchin, who claimed that ancient Sumerian and Babylonian texts described the existence of a 10th planet in our solar system. Sitchin believed that Nibiru was a planet similar to Earth, with a highly elliptical orbit that brought it close to our Sun every 3,600 years. He claimed that the Anunnaki, an advanced alien race, lived on Nibiru and had visited Earth thousands of years ago. According to Sitchin's interpretation of Sumerian and Babylonian texts, the Anunnaki came to Earth in search of gold, which they needed to repair the atmosphere of their own planet. They created humans as a slave race to mine the gold for them, and also imparted their knowledge and technology to ancient civilizations. Sitchin's theories have been widely criticized by scientists and scholars, who argue that his translations of ancient texts are flawed and that there is no evidence to support the existence of Nibiru. In fact, many astronomers have stated that the concept of a planet with such a long orbit is not feasible, as it would be affected by the gravitational pull of other planets in our solar system and would not be able to maintain a stable orbit. Despite the lack of evidence, the idea of Nibiru has gained a following among some conspiracy theorists, who believe that the planet is on a collision course with Earth and will cause catastrophic damage. Some have even claimed that governments and space agencies are covering up the existence of Nibiru in order to avoid widespread panic. In recent years, there have been several claims that Nibiru will make a close approach to Earth and cause a global disaster, but these predictions have not come to fruition. The scientific community maintains that there is no evidence to support the existence of Nibiru, and that any claims to the contrary are unfounded. The word Anunnaki means those who came from heaven to Earth, in Sumerian, which was one of the earliest civilizations in Mesopotamia. According to the ancient Sumerian texts, the Anunnaki were a group of deities who were led by the god Anu, who was the father of all gods. They were said to have descended from the heavens to Earth to mine gold and other precious metals, as well as to create humans to serve as their slaves. The Anunnaki were not just a single entity, but rather a pantheon of gods and goddesses. Some of the most important Anunnaki include Enki, who was the god of wisdom and creation, Enlil, who was the god of air and storms, and Ninhursag, who was the goddess of fertility and agriculture. According to the ancient Sumerian texts, the Anunnaki arrived on Earth from their home planet Nibiru, which is said to have a highly elliptical orbit that brings it close to Earth every 3,600 years. The Anunnaki were said to have come to Earth in search of gold, which they needed to repair their planet's atmosphere. When the Anunnaki arrived on Earth, they found that the atmosphere was not suitable for them, so they created humans to mine the gold for them. The Anunnaki genetically engineered humans by mixing their own DNA with that of the Homo erectus, a species of early humans. This is said to have happened around 450,000 years ago. As time went on, the Anunnaki became increasingly dissatisfied with their human slaves, who they believed were not working hard enough. In response, they decided to create a flood to wipe out most of humanity and start over. According to the Sumerian texts, the god Enki warned a human named Ziusudra about the flood and told him to build a boat to survive. After the flood, the Anunnaki continued to rule over humanity, but their influence began to wane as humans began to develop their own civilizations and religions. The Anunnaki were eventually replaced by other gods and goddesses in Mesopotamian mythology. While the story of the Anunnaki is certainly intriguing, there is no concrete evidence to support their existence. The Sumerian texts that describe the Anunnaki were written thousands of years ago and are based on oral traditions that were passed down through generations. Some people believe that the Anunnaki may have been extraterrestrial beings who visited Earth in ancient times, but there is no scientific evidence to support this theory. In fact, the idea of Nibiru, the planet that the Anunnaki are said to have come from, has been widely debunked by astronomers. In conclusion, the Anunnaki are a fascinating and controversial topic that has captured the imagination of many people for decades. While some see them as evidence of ancient alien visitations and advanced technologies, others view them as mythological creatures or simply as a product of human imagination. There is no doubt that the Sumerian civilization, which is the first known civilization in history, had a rich and complex mythology that included the Anunnaki as one of its central figures. The fact that the Anunnaki were depicted as powerful and godlike beings who interacted with humans in various ways, including creating them as a slave race, has led some to speculate that they may have been extraterrestrial in origin. However, it is important to note that the Anunnaki are not mentioned in any other ancient texts or mythologies outside of Sumer, and there is no physical evidence that supports the idea of their existence. Furthermore, many scholars argue that the Anunnaki were simply a metaphorical representation of natural forces, such as the sun and moon, or political and social concepts, such as kingship and authority. Before we wrap up this video, I'd like to take a moment to thank you for tuning in and watching. Your support means everything to me and motivates me to keep creating content that you enjoy. If you haven't already, please consider subscribing to my channel to stay up to date with all of my latest videos. And don't forget to hit the notification bell so that you never miss a new upload. I also want to hear from you. Leave a comment down below with your thoughts on this video, any suggestions you have for future content, or just to say hi. I read every comment and would love to connect with you. Lastly, if you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up and share it with your friends and family. It helps my channel grow and reach new viewers, which means I can continue to create more content for you to enjoy. Thanks again for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.